on this team, and they're trying to organize things. And you take a look at the people that they put out on the power play, and Pat LaFontaine is perhaps their best offensive player. You know, you need a Joey Mullen in a situation like that. Joey not available. But this kid has sure come on.
They're going to have LaFontaine, Olczyk, and Presley up front. Mark Johnson will be a point man along with Chelios. Already on the faceoff, deep in the Team Canada zone, Brent Sutter and LaFontaine, a couple of Islander teammates, will battle for it. And it comes to Mark Johnson. Off the boards to LaFontaine. Team USA trailing by a goal and with the man advantage. LaFontaine back on the point. Good play by Brent Sutter. And Sutter breaks away with Messier. Sutter shoots one. Van Beesbrook a glove save. And with Messier bearing down, John Van Beesbrook held it.
Perfect positioning for Brent Sutter to intercept that pass. He just kind of stripped the whole play. Watch number 21. Well, this is right after he'd intercepted it. He's on his way back down the ice. He got the defense caught a little bit. That riser at Van Beesbrook got the big glove hand up on it. Tough shot. That's a good save. Looks better on that angle. It was labeled. It could have handcuffed the goaltender. John Van Beesbrook, quite a story. He played at the Sioux in junior hockey after coming out of Detroit. Wasn't even the #1 goaltender up in the Sioux. Come on to become Vezina Trophy winner and one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League.
Canada still shorthanded. Crossman clearing it away. Here's Housley. Off the boards for Carpenter. He's taken out of the play. And now Millen giving it to Carpenter. Around for Joel Otto. He missed it. Housley into Otto in the corner. Back to Housley. Housley makes the shot, gives it to Suter. Drive, deflected, Fuhr the save. Suter again. Into Millen. Back to Suter. Suter trying to beat it in front, gets it to Millen. A minute left in the penalty. Back to Suter. Housley shoots, deflected, just wide. Suter behind the net to Millen. Fuhr cleared it away. Now Otto to Millen. In front to Suter. Save, another save on Otto by Fuhr. And it may have gone off the goaltender and then the post. I'm not sure.
I think it was. And Gardner, through all of that sequence, was playing without a stick.
Here's LaFontaine firing it in. 30 seconds left in the penalty. And going back is Housley. 20 seconds left in the penalty as LaFontaine stick handles through, fires it in. Olczyk in to get it, lets it go, and Brian Propp has it for Canada. Feeds Paul Coffey. Coffey just dumps it in. And that will finish the rest of the penalty to Murphy. Murphy's back on. 6:28 left. 3-2 Canada. Langway firing it in. Fuhr out of the net to fire it up on the boards. Langway held it in, but now here's Claude Lemieux to Mario Lemieux. Cutting in. Centered. Good defensive play by Hatcher to break up a 2-on-1. Now Goulet behind the net. Goulet was the man that was open in front of the net, but the good play by Hatcher, and the puck never got there. Here's Mario Lemieux, who scored all 3 of Team Canada's goals. Long pass. Goulet going in to get it. Lets it go, and Chris Nyland, number 30, back for Team USA. Trying to leave it for Brook. Brook centering pass. Nyland in the corner. Battling, gets it back to Brook. Gretzky has Brook tied up. Brook slides it in behind the goal, and Rochefort takes over for Team Canada. Now Brook dropping it back outside the line. Mike Ramsey carried it back in offside. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
There's big 6'4" Joel Otto, the Calgary centerman, who had a great chance on the power play. Watch him now. He's big enough to get right in there. He works his way in front. Got the puck coming in and then banged it off Fuhr and then off the post and then headed for the bench. And as he came to the bench, afraid our friend Mr. Keisler has kind of gotten in the way of the train.
Teams at full strength, 5:25 left as Chelios fires low and just wide. Coffey trying to clear it. Bouncing puck, Millen trying to center. Now Gretzky breaks up. Gretzky to Tocchet. In across the line for Canada. They flyer combination. Propp trying to get it to Tocchet, but it's off the mark, and now Propp drops it back into center ice. Hartsburg flips it back in, and Chelios is there to get it. Chelios for Team USA to Suter. And then as soon as Tocchet touched the puck, the play is called on a delayed offside. In international hockey, you don't put yourself back onside like we've seen in the NHL in recent years.
There's Rick Tocchet. I think he's settled in on the Gretzky line. They're just having trouble getting the other winger for Gretzky. I think the best line that probably Gretzky has ever played on was the line he had in the 1981 Canada Cup. A fellow named Lafleur played one wing, and a fellow named Perreault played the other wing. And against the United States in that tournament, Canada won 8-1, and the line had a total of 9 points. And then Perreault got hurt in the game against Sweden, and I think that probably more than anything cost Canada the Canada Cup in 1981. Oh, I tell you, Lafleur, Perreault, and Gretzky.
Less than 5 minutes to play in the third period. 4:40 to be specific. Here's Larry Murphy. Now getting it to Glenn Anderson. Number 9, Anderson trying to go around Langway. Leaves it for Howardchuk. Hatcher has him tied up, and Langway's there to get the loose puck. Carpenter able to deflect it into center ice. Picks it up, this Carpenter, to Olchek. Olchek moved in, but was checked, and it's fired back out by Bourque. Langway passing it off the boards. Olchek loses. Here's Messier moving in. He's taken out of the play, and Hatcher has it, moves it into center ice to Olchek. Olchek trying to center, and a sliding defensive play by Murphy to break it up. Murphy and Miller fight for it, and Murphy gets it to Bourque. Ray Bourque from the Boston Bruins to Larry Murphy. Into center ice. Howardchuk chipping it down near the line. Housley intercepts to LaFontaine. Back to Housley, but tipped away by Canada. Brent Sutter after a loose puck. Mike Ramsey knocked it away. Now it's Gartner. Housley breaks that up and drops it to Mike Ramsey. These two defensemen teamed up together from the Buffalo Sabres. Ramsey shooting it in. Now Canada drop it back of the net, and Doug Crossman off the boards. Here's Canada with Sutter breaking out. Sutter trying to go around Housley. Brent Sutter passes it across. Gartner in the slot. Center to Propp. Shot. Big save, Van Beesbrook on Brian Propp right on the doorstep. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Starting to see the odd play start to click now, and here we're going to get a chance. This was just a complete miscommunication in here. That is Gartner feeding it in front, and Propp was right there. Got the first look. Couldn't get the second whack at it as the defenseman slid across in front.
Mario Lemieux, Claude Lemieux, and Goulet out there for Team Canada. Claude Lemieux on the boards, trying to get away from Suter, gets knocked down. Brook comes up with it, drops it to Chelios. Less than 3 minutes to play here in the third period. Here's Brook, shooting it in. Crossman back after it. Mario Lemieux to Michel Goulet. Goulet centered to Mario Lemieux. Brook was there to knock it away. Chelios for Team USA. They're trailing by a goal. Now to Suter. Claude Lemieux there to intercept. Back comes Claude Lemieux. Stick handling in. Suter took him out. And Fraser feeds it into center ice. Here's Suter, number 20. Shoots one up high, and now back to the play. A penalty called. I think penalties against each team.
Well, I think Bob Brook upended Mario Lemieux coming through center ice. That is a penalty. We're going to have to see it here, but this will be a disastrous penalty with 2:16 remaining. But we'll see. There's just one gate open, so I think here it comes now. It's coming through center ice. You can see Lemieux go flying. And Bob Brook is going to be heading for the penalty box. Let's take a look at it. There it is, and I think he just gave a little extra to that. I'll tell you that Mario Lemieux does it all, doesn't he?
Costly penalty with 2:15 left or 2:16 left.
Now on the Bill Barber scale of things, what do we give that, a 5-9?
Bob Johnson doesn't give it much.
Now it comes at 17:44. Brook goes off for tripping. Canada's on the power play again, leading by a goal. As I say, a disastrous time for something like this to happen for Team USA.
Gretzky comes over the boards. So does Messier. Mario Lemieux stays out there. So it'll be Messier, Gretzky, and Lemieux up front. Bourque and Coffey the point men.
They give Keisler, the referee, full marks for keeping this game under control, but he missed a call on the first goal of the game on a hook, and I think kind of missed it right there on that play as well. But basically, it's not so bad as international refereeing goes.
As international refereeing goes. That's well said. Here comes Coffey moving in. Centered. Wide open. Messier rolled off his stick. Lemieux to Gretzky. Big save, Van Beesbrook. And back comes Otto. To Hatcher. Stolen by Gretzky. Gretzky moving in, but it's offside. And Team USA's blue line, 1:48 remaining. Gretzky starting to round into form as this tournament goes along.
The other guy isn't doing too bad a job either. Get them, the two of them out on the ice, they can move it around a little bit, or the old terminology, they can dangle. Well, there's Coffey. There's the puck in the corner. Now here comes Lemieux after it. That was a chance there for Messier directly in front.
He made a move and the puck rolled off his stick.
And then a little later on, that was Lemieux and Gretzky. Canada has opened up the shots on goal here, 13-6 in this period. So they're going to get well over 40 on goaltender Van Beesbrook.
3-2, Canada leading, 1:48 remaining. Remember, no overtime. If it's tied, it just goes into the book as a tie. Canada on a power play, 1:32 left in Brooks' penalty, 1:48 left in the game. Coffey and Bourque, the point men. Now they drop it to Messier. Mark Messier from the Edmonton Oilers, the Stanley Cup champions. Feeding it to Bourque. He dumps it in. Fired back out. Messier taking over. Messier carried in with a couple of teammates, namely Lemieux and Gretzky. Trapped in the zone offside. We're down to 1:23 left.
I would like to say something about the way the United States has come along over the years. I think that the 1980 Olympics were probably the watershed mark as far as U.S. hockey was concerned. We'll look back at the very first Canada Cup, which was 1976. They had to rely on some veteran-type pros like Joe Norris and Dan Bolduc and Warren Williams and Harvey Bennett, Cap Rader, and a defenseman named Lou Nanne, Doug Palazzari, and Alan Hangslave, and those are the names of Team USA that year. They were not stars. Suddenly, 12 years later, you got the kind of players that are on the ice right now. Some of them won trophies in the NHL, all quality players.
Well, there are over 100 U.S. players played in the National Hockey League last year. 102, I believe it was. 1:02 to play. Canada's still on a power play. LaFontaine can't get anywhere. Pocket knocked it away, and here's Mike Ramsey. Ramsey for the United States, but Brent Sutter checked him. Now Mark Johnson beating it to Chelios, and Rochefort was there to break it up. Ramsey back to get it. 25 seconds left in the penalty. Shot into center ice. Brent Sutter for Canada, still on a power play. 20 seconds left in the penalty. 33 seconds left in the third period in the game. Brent Sutter tied up on the play. Sutter gets loose. 25 seconds left. And it's Crossman feeding it out on right wing to Tocchet. Tocchet flipping it in. Chelios back to get it to knock it away from Goulet. Brook is back on. 13 seconds left. Van Beesbrook trying to get out. Here comes Carpenter. Pokes it in. Fuhr cleared it away. Now Bourque cleared it to Goulet. Trying to get it out. 4 seconds left. Tocchet gets it. Shoots it down the ice. Game is over. And Canada remains undefeated. They defeat the United States 3-2 here in Hamilton.
Well, they finally began to look a little bit like a team. It took the United States to press them and push them into the kind of a game they gave the fans here, the full house at the Copps Coliseum in Hamilton, as they congratulate Grant Fuhr, who certainly was one of the stars of this game. And there are the standings up to the moment now. After the 3 games today, Canada with a record of 2 wins and a tie for 5 points. And in first place, the United States very much a factor. And it is going to be very difficult to figure out who is going to and who is not going to make the playoffs when this preliminary round of this year's Canada Cup is complete, because it's hard to get a reading on just who is dominant and who is going to miss the playoffs. I think it's safe to say Finland, but after that, it's anybody's guess.
Final shots on goal favor Canada, 40-30. Mario Lemieux has all 3 of Team Canada's goals, and Canada wins this game 3-2. Let's go to the ceremonies and the PA announcer, Claude Mouton.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the Labatt Player of the Game Awards, pour faire la présentation des joueurs du match, would like you to welcome Mr. John Shaw, District Manager for Canon Cameras, and Mr. Gary Mitchell, Regional Sales Manager for Labatt Breweries. The Labatt Player of the Game for Team USA, which will receive a Canon EOS camera. Le joueur Labatt du match pour l'équipe des États-Unis, il recevra une caméra Canon, Joel Otto. The Labatt Player of the Game for Team Canada will receive the complete set of 10 1988 Olympic Winter Game coins courtesy of Canadian Tire is Mario Lemieux, le joueur du match. Hockey Canada and Labatt's thank you for your attendance and invite you to continue to follow Labatt's Canada Cup 87. The next game will be played in Montreal.
The final score, Canada 3, the United States 2. Canada's undefeated after 3 games in Canada Cup competition. This is the Labatt Canada Cup.
Hamilton, Canada beats the United States 3-2. We have the Toyota scoring summary for that 3rd period. Mario Lemieux completed the hat trick at 5:59, and the U.S. came back as Corey Millen scored at 6:40, but it was not enough as Canada skated through the rest of the period and won at 3-2, shots on goal heavily in favor of Canada. Brad Park joins us now for a very quick wrap-up of tonight's game. It seems to me that the only thing that the Americans lack, they've got checking, they've got goaltending, they just lack a couple of snipers like a Mario Lemieux.
That's right, and it comes down to a lot of the Canada always figured they had more finesse, and what turned out to be today was the power play. Lemieux's both of his last goals were on the power play, and here's a great play. The puck comes in, Messier tips it. Now watch Gretzky go behind the net, and Housley goes to check him. He pulls it back and lays it out to Lemieux, who just stuffs it in, and John Van Beesbroek just couldn't get back in time. But the power play came through big for tonight for Team Canada.
Are we seeing a Team Canada which is finally gelling?
I think so. That's the toughest game that they've had, and the guy, you know, the other thing that they run into a tough American team. And you got to look here at Joel Otto. Watch the deflection here in front. There's one chance. Joel Otto had another chance right after this where he had the puck in the crease and couldn't put it in. Joel Otto is 6'4", 6'5". So is Mario Lemieux, and you can tell me that Mario Lemieux will put those chances in where a guy like Joel Otto has to work that much harder and can be effective, but he just doesn't have those kind of hands.
Final score once again tonight, 3-2 Canada. This is the Labatt Canada Cup. 2 on the power play. Canada beats the United States 3-2. The Americans certainly turned in 2 very robust and effective periods, but just seemed to run out of tenacity and aggressiveness in the final fray. The standings now see Canada alone atop with 5 points, 2 wins and a tie. Sweden is tied for second place. We invite you to join us Friday night when Canada takes on Team Sweden at the Forum in Montreal.